back again, this is an issue, again, let's take you down your ballot. You started at the top, everyone's heard about that. You kind of filter your way down, you get down to the non-partisan part of the ballot, and then in the end, this is relatively light for a presidential election year. We have two issues on your Wayne County ballot. Number one is the RTA tax, which you've heard about. You've read about it in the paper, and a lot of discussion back and forth on how people feel on that particular issue. Underneath that is a $480 million, that's right, $480 million, that's close to a $500 million new tax. How did that get on there? This is a new operating millage. The local school boards that make up the Wayne County RSIA, which is basically Wayne County, took votes in their individual school boards about putting this tax on the ballot. The Northville School Board voted 7-0 to say, we're not going to approve this for a couple reasons, but there's one very good reason. This tax is 2 mills, okay? You can figure it out on your own how much that costs you. I'm not going to break it down like they do to 36 cents a day or something stupid like that. It's $500 million. It's 2 mills. Of that, Northville gets 1 mill. Where's the other mill go? It goes into a large pot of money that primarily goes to fund the Detroit Public Schools Community District. This is the district that just got $610 million of your dollars, bailout dollars, from the state. They received $50 million in annual debt relief. They were paying $50 million in debt service before, now they're paying 0. So with that $50 million savings that they got, how much money are they saving in their first year of operations? 0. You just got $50 million in relief and you are saving $0. So when their count day number comes out, which is probably going to come out next week, and they miss on their projections, they will, in their first year, after getting a $610 million bailout, be losing money again. I can't think of anybody who thinks that this is a good idea, except landed interests within the various school districts. So the total contribution of districts is about $80 million over the life of the tax. That's above and beyond what their own school district gets. Of that, 30 goes straight to Detroit. That's a lot of money going right down the drain. I pulled some statistics. Senator Colbeck and I share a love for data. You gotta get the data. The saying goes, in God we trust, everyone else bring data. So here's your data for you. Between 2009 and 2015, the Detroit Public Schools had 687 instances of fraud and theft. By their own calculation, and that's just the people they caught. That's 1 every 3 days. Now, does anyone think that with having been gifted $610 million, that they've rooted that out? No, your money is going to be thrown away. So I have made a presentation to the Northville group. If anyone's interested in seeing the longer version of this, I am making a presentation to the Republican Club of Livonia. It's at the Livonia Senior Center next week, Monday at 7 p.m. We're having a presentation from someone from the Wayne County Taxpayers Organization about the RTA tax, and I'm doing the Wayne RSIA tax. And this is why this is important. This was on the ballot in 2014. Across all of Wayne County, this initiative lost barely by 3,000 votes. So every one of your votes failing to get to that last thing on the budget, that last big new tax, and part of my presentation I put the language up there. And I say, can anyone see this? Does this look like do you see $480 million here anywhere? No, you don't. And if you do, it's 4 words of 500. If you fail, all of a sudden your taxes are going to go up for mass transit bus lanes, which means you're going to have more traffic in the remaining lanes. I don't know what genius thought that one. And a big new tax, half of which will not even go to your local schools. And that's true for Plymouth, Livonia, Northville, Grosse Pointe, but wait for it, Romulus, Taylor. These districts are wealthy and they should be contributing. It's insane. And none of the money goes to any private schools, of course. None of the money goes to charter schools. So half of the kids that are in Detroit public school, are in Detroit, a public school within the city of Detroit, a charter school, will receive nothing. Happy to provide the presentation to anyone who wants it. I have it posted on YouTube, and I've got another version if you'd like. But that is important that you make it all the way down to the bottom of your ballot. Look at those two issues and say to yourself, do I want new taxes for this and that? I think in this room, it's pretty clear, but you need to help me get the word out with respect to school taxes. A lot of times people say, hey, it's taxes for schools. It's good. It helps our kids. No, not when half of it goes somewhere else. Not where half of it goes into a black hole where tens of millions of dollars have been stolen. No one would do that here. If it's a bad idea. It was bad in 2014. It's even worse today. Thanks. That's if you have more questions, please let me know. Go ahead.
And we have a surplus right now, correct?
Northville has an operating surplus. We
don't need a 2 mil tax for our school.
I can assure you that the way the district administration uses the term need and you do are different things. When I started on the school board, we had a $2.3 million fund balance. As of the last budget year, I haven't got my audit for this yet. Actually, it's coming next week. But we have a $17.5 million budget year. Now here's the thing, and these public officials can tell you this. We're a public body. We don't have shareholders. We don't have CEOs. We have a completely open system. Everyone can see where every dollar of our check register is going, who's getting what dollars. And what we do with that money is we put it into things like tax savings, the $1 million we save their taxpayers, or new programs, making sure that our schools are at that high level where everyone wants them to be. But you have to, in order to do that, you have to have two things. You have to have the discipline to not spend every dollar that comes into your pocket. And number two, you have to build trust. And that is what Lansing lacks. Lansing lacks trust. Nobody thinks that their dollar that goes to Uncle Rick is going to be spent wisely. They think it's going to be squandered. It's even worse in Washington. But you have to build that trust. You have to say to people, look, this is how I'm spending your money. I'm asking you for a favor. I'm asking you. We've passed two new tax initiatives when I've been on the board. One's been a renewal, one's a new one. You know how we did it? We tell everyone, this is exactly what we're going to do with your money. And then, shock, we actually do it. And then they come around and they say, well, what did you do with the last group of money? We say, here are the 19 things we said we were going to do. Here are the 19 things we did. Can we keep going with your money? Well, it's ultimately your money. So I appreciate the time to talk. Again, if anyone, my website has it, wilkfornps.com, and it's also available on YouTube. You can see the whole presentation, but please do what you can to get the word out about that. It's not a regular school tax that even some people have supported. This one is a bad one.